We take you to the Senzo Meyiwa case. As you can see in that small box on your left, that everybody has arrived for the inspection in loco. This is, of course, related to accused number one, Muzi Sibiya, who had alleged that he was assaulted in this specific location, the defense having requested the inspection in loco. Let's listen in.
Right.
No, he must tell us.
Yes, Judge, I think now we, it looks like it's EMPD offices. And I think we're going to hand over to Advocate Nisi just to indicate what is it that needs to be done here.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, my lord. We have arrived. This area, according to Mr. Sibiya, this is what is known as the golden spot. It's an area that encompasses a lot of offices in their different formats. So upon our arrival here, we were at one part of the area within the golden spot, and then went to ask him if he's now in a position to show where the alleged assault on him on the 30th of May and also on the 5th of June took place. The spot where the alleged assault took place, yes. And then he said no, he would be able to point the area, and as he was pointing, we realized that he was pointing to this direction, and then he also undertook to walk us to exactly the spot where the alleged assault took place.
Okay.
He has been showing the team of the defense around here, but for court purposes, I think it would be best for him to show exactly where the assault took place and the motor vehicle that accompanied him, or that were involved on that day of his arrest, were also packed. We'll start with the date of the 30th so that we do not conflate issues. The 30th of May, when they were from Vosloorus. That is the day on which he was then arrested, when they were from Tembisa. Yes. Exactly where the assault took place. I wonder if this can then be interpreted.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Sibiya, kanye futhi ke nabanye uyasho ke advocate umnisi ukuthi le ndawo ke ibizwa ngokuthi i-golden spot bese kwingxenye ke ngale iyayo ke la abakhulumisene nawe khona ke uthe manje ikhulumisana ke kwanala ukhomba khona ke ingakho sesifike khona lana ke ukukhuluma futhi babameli kanye nawe ubumuntu nendawo ke okuyikhomba khomba kodwa ke uzocela ke yena besho nje kodwa kuzocelwa wena ukuthi kube uwena umuntu ke le ndawo ubuzisho kubona ke abameli ukuthi ke uyikhombe kanye futhi ke nemoto ubatshelile nangemoto kwakuyingxenye futhi yethimba lelo elalikhona ngalelo langa.
With the leave of court, Malala would therefore request Mr. Sibiya to point where this whole incident happened. I've been informed by the state, my lord, that apparently there's a gentleman who's a photographer. We've agreed that we don't have an objection that he takes photograph of him as he will be pointing.
Is he a policeman?
Yeah, he's a photographer.
Is he a policeman?
Yes, he is.
He's a draftsman, yes. He's from the police services.
Yeah, fine. Yes. He's an officer. Fine.
Secela advocate umnisi ukuthi ngokuvunyelwa inkantolo kube uyaqala ke ukhomba sikhona ke nesicelo ukuthi ke ukhona umthobuli wezithombe wasemaphoyiseni kuyena babako bavumeleneke ukuthi ke angaqhubeka ngokuthobula izithombe usebenzela amaphoyisa.
Yeah. Mr. Sibiya, you then requested, the court has given you permission to go and point where you were taken out of the motor vehicle, the point where the interview or the interrogation took place, but we're going to start exactly with the date of the 30th of May. Do you understand? 2020.
sizoqala ke noma uzoqala ke ngoba inkantolo sivumileke ukuthi ke ukhombe la owakhishwa khona ke emotweni kwase kukhulunyiswana ke nawe sizoqala ke ngalo ilanga la nge-30 zika May.
Thank you. You can then
So
start
hello
to
wena ke la.
point, yes.
Ya ngoba savela ngala imoto zangena la zapaka nje
ungajahi baba ungajahi funa sikhulume yonke uthi we appeared from this side the cars drove in here yebo zaya ngakuphi
zapaka mala imoto zakhona.
this is where the vehicles parked
Where?
it's pointing come before
Zapaka mala.
the vehicles parked here kwakuyimoto engaki
Ngiyacabanga zazi 7.
I think there were 7
Yeah.
ungaqhubeka baba
Yeah, mina babe ngihlalisela la mafati la.
they made me to sit down here
hamba ohlala ngendlela owahlele ngayo sibili. Angazi umuzo kwazi.
I was cuffed like this. I was seated like this.
So babe ngifaka isho ukuthi mangihleli so ila bangifaka khona I-plastic.
When I was seated like this is where they would put on the plastic,
Ngina sengibole phansi.
and I ended up laying down.
So emva kwesikhathi ngasekuvela owavelayo so lo baba lo ngithi mina ngagcina ngilo ngazigcineni ukuthi uginela so ye washo uma ngigcina ngibona sengibona sekukhona yena la so ba shift abamela lapha ngasemotweni baba meeting yabo
And then
seyabuya sezokhuluma la.
this particular gentleman, who I later on got to know as Gininda, then appeared. They then moved towards the vehicle. They held a meeting over there.
Okay. Now, this area where we are, will you be able to tell the court what place is this?
Indawo
The name
lena
of this place.
indawo lena esikuyona manje ungakhona yini ukuthi uyitshele inkantolo ukuthi yini igama la lendawo?
So thina sazi ukuthi indawo eseGosport indawo kamasipala le.
We know it to be the gold spot belonging to the municipality.
From where we are, where's the police station?
Kundawo esikuyona njengamanje ipolice station kuphi nendawo?
Police station la ngemuva.
The police station is right at the back.
Ngoba ngihleli ngibhekele police station la lapha.
As I'm seated facing that direction, the police station is behind me.
Are you familiar with this place?
Uyayazi le ndawo le?
Le ngangakaze ngize ngene la ngaphakathi bengiyazi nje ngokwendlula la ngaphandle estradini.
I've never
So ngaqala ungena ngalela la.
Oh, sorry. I never entered the premises. I would just pass over there. But on that day was my first time entering these premises.
So what are you then saying? Are you familiar with the surrounding here, except for the fact that you never got in here?
Ngaphandle kokuthi ungakaze ungene lana kodwa indawo yona lena indawo uyayazi.
Yes.
I'm familiar with the place, the surroundings.
Okay, thank you.
Several.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Now,
Sorry.
oh, okay. That was now where he said he was interrogated. Sorry.
From my understanding, this fencing, was it still here? Can you see the fencing?
Nanjengoba kuvaliwe ke lana kubiyelwe. Kwakukhona la ngaleso sikhathi.
Lokhu kubi
Yes.
kwakukhona.
Yes, my lord.
Were the cars coming in and out?
Ingaba imoto zayingena iphuma?
Lezala bengahamba lapho.
Specifically the cars I was traveling in.
No, any car.
Nah, akhulunywa ngazo noma yiphi.
Angaze ngiyibona.
I never saw them.
And kwakuyi lockdown lesasikhathi.
And during that time it was a lockdown.
Okay.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Sibiya, that was the incident that took place on the 30th of May, not so?
Manje ke leso isigameko esenzeka nge-30 zika May yangithi.
Yeah.
Yes.
As you had done with what happened on the 30th, can you please also take us through what happened in the demonstration that you did about the 5th of June 2020? Yes.
Nanjengoba uqeda ke ukhombisa ukuthi kwenzekani nge-30 ungakhombisa ukuthi kwenzekani ke ngalendlela oqeda ukutshengisa ngayo manje ke nge-5 zika June.
Now, just to check your memory, the date of the 5th is the date on which you ended up having had to go and do an alleged pointing out before Lieutenant Colonel Khatebe. Do you still remember that?
Uma ngingakhumbuza ke i-date yange-5 ile date ke bathi ke yona ke wahamba wayokhomba ngayo ke phambi kwakhe uKolonel Khatebe.
Yeah, now remember on the day you were driven direct from Pretoria, from Valeria, as you remember.
Ukhumbuleke ngalelo langa lelo baza nawo ke nibuya ePretoria eValeria.
Yeah, then upon arrival here, how did the car go into the premises, if this is the place that we're talking about on the incident of the 5th stuff?
Uma kuukuthi ke iyona indawo le esikhuluma ngayo isigameko sange-5 zika June, ima ingena ke imoto noma imoto zangena kanjani uma kuukuthi iyona indawo le yange-5 zika June?
Yeah, iyo le.
Yes, it is the premises.
Zangena futhi khona lapha zazongena la. So zama khona la futhi.
They once again entered right there, came in through there, and they entered the premises, and once again they were parked over there. And then they made, I was then made to alight the vehicle, and I was placed here, although I cannot say precisely that it was this specific place, but this is where I was placed.
Okay, you can then start to demonstrate exactly as you did with what happened on the 30th.
Yeah, now
as with regard to what happened on the 5th. As we were taken out of the motor vehicle, how we were made to sit down and stuff like that.
Ngendlela oqeda ukutshengisa ngayo usungaphinda ke utshengiseke namanje ukuthi nge-5 kwenzeka kanjani.
Uphinde ngephakathi. Ngangilokho ngilibele ngiboshwe kanje. Ngingaboshiwe nyawo. So noma ngeke ngithi la ngangihleli khona nangalela la. So nakhona ngangihleli so ngifasiwe. So mangihlala so lesikhathi babeqala ngaso kwenzani ukungifaka iplastic bese beyangishaya.
I was at all times handcuffed, but my feet were not ironed, or there were no leg irons in my feet. And then I was made to sit like this, and as I indicated, handcuffed. And then it was at that time when they then started to put plastic over me and started to assault me. Yeah.
Then the assault went on then after that.
Emuva kokuthi ushayiwe.
So mabeqeda ukungishaya sahamba saya Albertine.
After the assault, we then left and went to Albertine.
Sorry, I agree that there's a fire brigade building there. Yeah, there it is. You are from there.
Yes.
Because there's a fire brigade.
And the lights, Judge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Judge. My suggestion
I
was
aware that there's a fire brigade building there. I was not aware.
But Judge, my suggestion was since the photographers here for orientation purposes, if they can take photos, I don't know, for our orientation, because writing notes also, they won't be accurate.
Yes.
Understand? The building,
The photographer.
yes, the fences.
Yeah, may take photos from that end, showing the precincts. I think there are also, I don't know what this building is, whether it's offices or what.
Must I take it with the people around?
Yes. Yeah. And just the precincts, the lighting, the lights outside.
Maybe as the photographer is preparing to take his photos, I think we need to give Mr. Sibiya a space and be here, alone, so that when the photos come, it's perfectly clear.
All right. Advocate Charles Mnisi, who is the legal representative for accused number one, Muzi Sibiya, asking us just to move a little bit back to allow the photographers to take some pictures. These are the police photographers. As you can see here towards my right, Muzi Sibiya standing right at the location where he says he was assaulted on 2 occasions. This is on the 5th of, I beg your pardon, the 30th of May 2020, as well as the 5th of June 2020. Recall, the 30th of May is the day that he was arrested. He describes as he sat down with his hands behind his head, demonstrating what he says happened to him on that day, indicating that there was a plastic that was put over his mouth, demonstrating to both the judge who is here today, as well as all the other legal representatives, what he says happened to him after he had been arrested. And this is on the 30th of May, and then of course on the 5th of June. This was the very same day that he had also, or is alleged to have made that confession, where he also says he was coerced, him describing, take a look, this is just of course for the police forensic services who are taking pictures of Muzi Sibiya. This is how he says he was treated or assaulted on the day of the 30th of May 2020, as well as the 5th of June 2020, demonstrating once again for the police services, him indicating that even the confession which he is said to have deposed of, him indicating that that particular confession is a confession that he says he was forced into. He was given something that was written already and forced to put his signature on that. He also says he was assaulted on that particular day as well. Remember, the contention of accused number one is that he'd been assaulted into a confession. After he had been arrested, he had been assaulted a number of times at this particular area, including what is described as the municipal area, where he says, right here at this particular spot, this is where he was assaulted on the 30th of May 2020, after he had been arrested, as well as on the 5th of June 2020. So this is quite a crucial part of today's proceedings. He says he was assaulted. Remember, the lead investigator in the Senzo Meyiwa Murder Trial, who was Brigadier Bongani Gininda, denying that any such incident had taken place. Him also saying that at the time that accused are booked out of the places where they've been detained, they are occurrence books or books where there are entries that would be made about the condition of an accused when he is booked out and when he is brought back in. So what we've heard from the authorities, what we've heard from the lead investigator, he contends that none of this had happened. But of course, the lawyer representing accused number one, Muzi Sibiya, through his lawyer, indicating that despite aerial photographs that had been, before court, because there had been a difference in the description that was given by the lead investigator, Brigadier Bongani Gininda, and accused number one, Muzi Sibiya, who is at this location now, where he says he was assaulted. The advocate representing him felt that they should come to this location and look at the exact descriptions, and for him to point out exactly what happened to him on those two said days. But you'd also be asking questions about why perhaps you also have the other accused here. Recall that Judge Rata Mokgwatlenge indicated that because of the others also being part or charged in this particular case, they should also be part of today's in-local inspection. But him describing, most importantly, today, how he had been assaulted in this municipal area here in Vosloorus, sitting on the ground with his hands behind his back a little bit earlier on, him giving an indication of how police, he says, had put a plastic over his head. Let's move towards this direction and see towards where the judge, Ratamokwatleng, they seem to have headed towards a different direction now, and they're having a look at the parameters around this particular area. Remember, Judge Ratamokwatleng asking about whether this particular area had been fenced off at the time that there had been when this alleged assault had taken place, describing also a taxi rank that had been around this particular area. So all of the elements that had been raised by accused number one in his description of the area where he said he was assaulted, which he has pointed out here today, of course.
He's just showing us this is the parking lot. We can all see it. So there's no evidence.
These guys are scared. Can you not take them because they are scared? Can you not put them on the camera? These guys, they are scared they will be in trouble.
Okay, so what is that officials
How did you get that site?
So what did he say about the movement or it was closed?
when this whole dialogue.
Yeah, it was closed during the
This whole place.
Are we through here?
What was closed?
But could it still be accessed?
Yeah, that's what
Just repeat that.
No, I think for Mr. Sibiya's demonstration, that will be it. Yeah. Remember, this is his version. Yeah, this is his version.
Yeah, but they say
I think this should be Van Buren. Where's
Okay, yeah.
Just be careful of those guys. They don't want to be on, eh?
Is that Yakininga? What's the name of that main street?
It's marked Birman on the aerial photograph.
Yeah.
According to the aerial photograph.
Yeah.
That's how it was marked.
It's Birman Street.
According to the aerial photograph,
Yeah.
it was marked Birman.
Yeah.
And this one?
With
This small one.
to the municipality.
Yeah, it's just an entrance.
But this gentleman says they didn't close this part. I mean, they closed only one, this side, because there is a traffic cops. It was always open. Is that what they're saying?
And the building opposite.
And the brigade
Fire brigade.
was open. So what was shut was here? Because the municipality.
It was closed because of the lockdown.
The lockdown, yeah, fine.
It's from 8 to 4, and then the gate 6 to 6, 24 hours.
So the traffic department was open. The EMPD.
24/7. 6 to 4.
24/7.
No, I'm not asking about time. I'm asking about what
And
you
the
said.
opposite there's fire.
Because I wasn't there when that information was.
Are we through here?
Yeah, it looks like we're through.
Now, Mr. Sibiya says, how did you get that side?
Yeah, we just thought maybe we should also go and check out the police station.
Yeah, fine.
What was the question?
Yeah, the judge asked us to what does Mr. Sibiya say? How did he get? I didn't get it.
Yeah, he says, how did you get that site?
No, Mr. Sibiya says
he was never taken the site.
No, he was never taken the site. Yeah, everything happened here.
On the 30th?
Oh, on the 30th and the 5th.
The 30th and the 5th, everything happened here?
Yes. We're not really here where we're standing, but there where he was demonstrating.
Yeah, no. Everything happened here on the two occasions.
Yes.
I want to see the secluded place where you was assaulted from.
All right, Judge Ratamokgotleng requesting to be taken back to that area where accused number 1, Muzi Sibiya, says he was assaulted. We'll go back there. His legal representative clarifying that everything had taken place towards that area where we were, where accused number 1 indicated he was forced onto the floor, and that's when he had been covered with a plastic around his face. And Judge Ratamokgotleng going back towards that area as we have all 5 of the accused, you would see, under heavy police guard here at this particular stage. And Judge Ratamokgotleng indicating that he wants to be brought back to this particular area. The interpreter just giving an interpretation of what happened on the other side.
We have shown us that it's seeming very secluded. It looks like it's an open place, but the court wants to see what Muzi meant by secluded.
The interpreter just explaining to the accused what happened on the other side, where Judge Ratamokgotleng had indicated he wanted to check the parameters of this area in terms of the description that was given by Muzi Sibiya in terms of the parameters. He described this as a municipal area. There is a home affairs here. There is a police station around this area. There is also a nearby shopping center. And just a few meters from where he's standing now, he says, is where he was assaulted, where we saw a bit earlier on a demonstration according to him of how it had taken place on the 30th of May 2020, as well as the 5th of June of 2020. This was, going to be a last resort for the court. You would recall that while Advocate Charles Mnisi wanted this process to take place, let's just go in a bit. All right.
The police station is just behind, so I think we just need to go and check where the police station is.
But I think the judge wanted to find, said he wants Mr. Sibiya to show where that secluded area is. Yeah. I don't know whether he must show or he must say why he says this place is secluded. I don't know. We need to get clarification there. Whether he needs to show where that secluded area is, or why does he say the spot that he has pointed now, he referred to it as a secluded area.
Yeah, if he can show us, he must show us.
Thank you.
All right. Accused number 1, Muzi Sibiya, having described this area as a secluded area. Now, Advocate Charles Mnisi, let's just quickly go in and take a listen.
Now we have demonstrated where you see, we have demonstrated where the incident of the 30th and the 5th of May took place, not so? Yeah, as we've seen here.
Usukhombile lokho kwenzeka nge-30 kanye nange-5 sikaJune. 30 May ne-5 sikaJune, yes.
Now you recall when we presented this evidence, through me, I said you were taken to some sort of a secluded spot where this alleged assault took place. Do you still remember that?
Uzokhumbula ke uma ngabe kuvela ke lokho kushiwo lokho ukusho ngami ke ukuthi kunale ndawo ethizeni noma indawo nje eyimele eseceleni owathathwa kanje sakubona la kwenzeka khona lokho. Yes.
And now the court the court wants to make a clarification as to why do you refer this area as a secluded area?
Manje ke inkantolo ifuna ke ukuchazela ukuthi kuzocaca ke lokho ukuthi kungani uma ukhuluma ngale ndawo ke ukhuluma ngendawo nje eyimele indawo iseceleni eyodwa nje.
Why do you say this or you regard this as
noma ukuthi uyibone kanjalo ukuthi indawo nje eseceleni?
So ngoba ngithi mina indawo eseceleni le esithekile, so ugina indaba ekhomba ngale police station ethi yena sasise endaweni evulelekile police station. So mina ngitshela umnisi le ndawo le ayivulelekile, ayibonakala ukuthi ungabona into ele umuntu ongale uma kuma imoto la akakwazi ukubona ngala.
The reason why I pointed out or referred to this place as being a secluded place is because Brigadier Ninda pointed to the other side where the police station is and said that's where it happened. So I refer to this place because for someone who is up there and there are vehicles parked there, that person won't be able to see what is happening here.
All right, live proceedings there from the Senzo Meyiwa case, murder trial currently taking place, of course, in a specific location in Ekurhuleni. That is the defense's request. They've requested an inspection in loco. We heard there from accused number 1 indicating where exactly he alleges he was assaulted by the police officers. We also understand that that is specifically a municipal building which is adjacent to the police station. Our reporter there, senior reporter Chriselda Lewis, is still monitoring proceedings at that inspection in loco and will share a bit more after this.